So, Sally, let's move to news of the day. Obviously, the Trump administration, Donald Trump himself, accusing the Obama administration of improperly targeting his campaign for an investigation. What's your response to everything you've heard over the weekend?
Well, obviously, I'm not going to comment on the specific facts there. It's really up to the Department of Justice to decide what information should be made public with respect to that. But, I think what we're seeing here is the president has just taken his all-out assault on the rule of law to a new level. Mm-hmm. And this time, he is ordering up an investigation of the investigators who are examining his own campaign. That's really shocking.
John Heilman.
Sally, let me just stay on that with you. How do you think this will play out? Ben Wittes has written that he thinks that if this order actually gets issued, that it will put Rod Rosenstein, Christopher Wray, and others potentially in a position where if they were asked to actually carry out the order that the president suggested yesterday, they would basically be forced to resign.
Well, I know it was just a tweet, but he did say something to the effect, if I recall correctly, I hereby order.
Yeah.
And we saw the Justice Department respond to that. But, I think Rod Rosenstein is trying to strike a balance here between diffusing this situation, but also protecting the rule of law and the institutional integrity of the department.
Nick.
Sally, Nick Compastore here. So tell us what sign or what moment would for you be a dangerous break? What would be the sign you're looking for that tells you, as a person who's worked in law enforcement, that the train is off the tracks, that we are headed for a crisis?
Well, I think one of the things we have to look out for is the old boiling the frog slowly issue, that, we become accustomed to things that the president does in directing DOJ. I can remember a time when he would issue a tweet or a directive and the reports would be in an unprecedented act. The president did X or Y. It's not so unprecedented anymore, and oftentimes it doesn't even make it through the full 24-hour news cycle. I think we all know, and happily, folks on both sides of the aisle have recognized that firing Bob Mueller would be a red line. But I think we also need to recognize that firing Rod Rosenstein would be equally damaging to the rule of law, because Rod Rosenstein here really controls the scope of the special counsel's investigation, and trying to get rid of him is really a backdoor way of trying to control that investigation.
And you wonder if